Hi, I'm Todd Malacote, and today I'm here with part 2 of Information Architecture for SEO. Last time we touched on the basics of what information architecture is and how to create your information architecture. This time we're going to look a little bit more at why this is so important, and this time we'll get into specific examples of different site types as well as some bonus IA optimization tips. The first concept I want to start with is an idea called keyword cannibalization. And what keyword cannibalization is essentially having too many pages with the same keywords in the title tags, in the body copy, and confusing the search engines by throwing all of these pages into the search engine index and having your pages essentially eat themselves to survive. You have all these pages competing for the same keywords in the search engines, and you're leaving it to the search engines to figure it out. So while relevancy is their goal, they might not always send your users to the best landing page possible. And that's just a shame because you're going to sacrifice your conversion. Keyword cannibalization kills conversion. I appreciate the alliteration in this, but I'm going to say it again. Keyword cannibalization kills conversion. And the reason for this is because if you have all these pages competing for the same phrases, the search engines are going to pick which one they want there. If you specifically target one specific page per specific keyword set, if you have page-specific unique concepts, and you're organized properly, and you're distributing link equity, and you're doing your external link building to deep pages of your site in the right manner, you won't end up with bad landing pages. You'll end up with a structure that is very organized, and you'll link build, and you'll send people to the right area. You only get 2 search results. If you have 500 pages competing for the same search result all over your site, who knows what you're going to end up with? And we'll show an example of just how bad that can get in just a moment. So pay real close attention to your site structure and make sure to disallow some areas of your site. If you have multiple pages that say exactly the same thing, pick one. You don't need all 10 pages. Exclude the rest, and you'll keep the quality of your site index higher, and you'll be much less likely to experience this keyword cannibalization. So I'm going to use an example query to demonstrate just what can happen if you end up with bad landing pages due to keyword cannibalization. The query we're going to use here is Asia plane tickets, and we'll see that Expedia comes up in the paid search. So we're going to pick on them a little bit, and we're going to pick on Boots and All a little bit, who's actually done a fairly decent job of targeting. They could certainly do better, but we'll look at both of these for the example of Asia plane tickets. Now, we'll see that if we look at Expedia's site and we do a site command, there's almost 1,000 pages that have the word Asia plane and tickets or some combination thereof. Now, if I'm searching, I certainly don't want the book flights to Detroit page. I'm trying to go to Asia, not to Detroit. So, and there's 100 other pages, or nearly 1,000 other pages that could cannibalize this page as well. We want the page on traveling to Asia, and they do have a page on traveling to Asia. That's what should ultimately come up. And if they didn't have this cannibalization, that would be the ideal landing page and offer much better conversion rates to the user, and a much better user experience and much better conversion rates to their company. So when we look at Boots and All, we see this is the first page that comes up in their search result. When we did that search, this is page number 1, and this is what comes up. You have 2 results in the search engines. This is one of them. I don't even see Asia anywhere on this page. I see international airfare, and I see that they do book flights, so it's fairly relevant. But there's nothing about Asia. I'm looking specifically for Asia, so there's very high likelihood that I'm going to click back. Now, their second landing page is a little bit better. It does have Asia airfare on it. This could certainly be catered much more to someone looking specifically for Asia plane tickets, but at least there is some indication that I found what I'm looking for, so I'm less likely to bounce off this page. All of this ties back to creating your information architecture. If there's 1,000 pages on your site, you need to be responsible for which one the search engine is going to pull up. Their goal is relevancy, but that doesn't mean that they always accomplish that goal. You are in charge of spoon feeding those bots. As we established in the earlier video, bots are intelligent, but they're lazy. they don't always do the best job at finding the most relevant page. You need to spoon feed those spiders. You need to spoon feed the search engines and tell them exactly where you want them to go. And you do that by disallowing them from certain areas and from distributing your link equity, your firepower to the appropriate areas, and building content, building title tags, being consistent in your overall SEO strategy, both in terms of content, link building, and internal links, all to one specific page, at most two specific pages, because that's what's going to come up in the search engines. You don't need 100 pages for a single set of keywords. So I'm going to pick on Expedia just a little bit more here. This is the landing page they use for their paid search campaigns. When I search for Asia plane tickets, this is the result I get from their paid search campaign. Now, while this is a good landing page in terms of I can do what I came to do and I can book travel, I don't see anything about Asia here. On this page, however, I see all kinds of wonderful Asia information. Now, a combination of these two pages would probably be the ideal, but we need to create that master wonderful converting page that's relevant to our top level query and make sure that's the one that we're targeting with our SEO efforts. In the same way that they want to have the best landing page from a paid search campaign, you want to make sure that you pick your best two pages on your site for a specific query and block the rest of them. Keep the rest of the pages from coming up and make sure you're distributing that link equity appropriately so that you're getting the proper two landing pages. Your link equity is that firepower. Your link equity is going to determine which pages out of your 100 pages comes up for a search result. And the higher in your architecture it is, the more likely it is to come up for that search query. So if you have your homepage ranking for Asia plane tickets, you may get decent conversion rates, but if your Asia plane tickets page is ranking for your Asia plane tickets query, that conversion rate is going to improve. So in summary, you need to be consistent to avoid keyword cannibalization. Make sure you target just a few pages, and this will keep you from getting those bad landing pages indexed. Make sure your information architecture and your overall SEO strategy targets specific pages for specific queries, and you'll avoid this problem of keyword cannibalization killing conversion. Another common problem created by weblogs is the problems associated with tag clouds. Now, it's good to tag your content and know what it's about and categorize it, but tags can create all kinds of extraneous pages that add to search engine bloat. While it can be used as a long tail strategy for high link popularity sites, it's generally not a good strategy for a site that's just starting off or someone of medium link popularity. Now, users may navigate these, and so there is arguments for tag clouds, but you want to make sure that all of these pages created by tag clouds are not getting indexed by the search engine because they will add to that keyword cannibalization. They create all kinds of duplicate content. They dilute the link popularity of your site. They inflate your site index. And the solution to this is just put a robots.txt on your tag pages. Make sure that the search engines aren't seeing them. You can leave them for your users, but it's not something that you want indexed by the search engines. Now, I'm not going to touch on duplicate content all that much in this video, but when it comes to finding duplicate content in your information architecture, one way to go about it is Aaron Wall has a tool at training.seo book called the Website Health Check that will help determine if you have title tags that are duplicate throughout the site. So if you have 100 pages that have the same title tag and the same keywords, you're going to run into that keyword cannibalization. Another tool that you can use to do something similar is called Xenu Link Sleuth. It's kind of the old standby of SEOs. These two tools are going to help you at least find and start identifying some of that duplicate content so you can implement some of these techniques and remedy some of the duplicate content in information architecture that causes that keyword cannibalization. The final technique I'm going to share here are the final two techniques. First one is with seasonal and expiring content, never ever delete this content. Job boards are notorious for this. Now, if there's a link to this job post of a director for search engine optimization at MTV Networks, this post is no longer there. I can almost guarantee it's no longer there. So there's probably other ones, and there's other in the same category they should fully be utilizing the links to the old expired content and 301ing this content to a directory, to an archive directory. They don't have to keep necessarily this content around, but they at least need to redirect that link equity because it's still going to be beneficial to their overall global link popularity. This is where having a information architecture in place is hugely critical because you can redirect this up one level. This would be the job category or the specific job. The job category, this link equity could be redirected to instead of just deleting this content and never seeing those links again. Those links are never going to do benefit if this page is deleted in 404s. So with seasonal expiring content, make sure you have a strategy based on your information architecture to redirect that link equity from expired content to the new archived version of the content. The final technique final tip for information architecture or creation is promoting features. If you have recent news or something that's upcoming, make sure you're promoting this seasonal news a bit early. Link to it on your sitemap, link to it on your homepage. The first person to get indexed for new content is going to get the rankings. Early promotion leads to early rankings, and which in turn ultimately leads to more links as people are out researching the topic. So be quick to new topics, be ahead of the curve, and have a solution for getting this content indexed by linking to it from your sitemap, linking to it run of site, whatever you need to do, but incorporate it into your information architecture so that you're getting your new content indexed early and often so that when it hits mainstream, you're there where you need to be. So as a review of Information Architecture Part 2, we covered examples of why information architecture is important, a few different site types, including blogs and e-commerce sites. We looked at a few specific optimization techniques and now have a better understanding of how duplicate content creates keyword cannibalization and how having a consistent, concise, developed information architecture that applies to the rest of your SEO strategy is hugely important and fundamental to a successful search engine optimization campaign. Thank you for your time. Thanks a lot.